I thought it was time to do an update on some of the things we have growing indoors. Some of the pepper plants that we had growing are gone because we harvested the peppers and moved on to the next generation. Now we have the next generation growing and a bunch of tomato plants too. We also have several new tomato plants that I'll be growing for the first time. And we also have quite a few of that next generation of peppers that are just now starting to produce peppers. That tray with all the small plants there is full of tomatoes. And 5 of those new tomatoes are variegated types. The 2 variegated tomato plants that you see here are called Haley's Rainbow. I picked those seeds up thanks to a tip from Stephen Rowe. Not only is this variety variegated, but it's also a dwarf and has potato leaf foliage. Haley's Rainbow got me interested in growing a tomato with variegated foliage, so I also picked up Shimo Furry. Pico's Pride is also a variegated variety, and once I got started, I couldn't stop. So I also picked up Walter's Fancy, and another one that's closely related to Walter's Fancy called Elsie's Fancy. In all, that makes 5 different variegated tomatoes that I'll be growing. This tray is full of my Purple Flash Project peppers, and as you can see, a lot of them are getting blooms, and quite a few of them are getting their first peppers. So it won't be long and we'll be able to harvest these and move on to the next generation. I'm also growing quite a few plants that will be going outside when the weather warms up. Here's a look at my Matoyo eggplant, and the leaves are getting very large on that one. This variety is another one I'll be growing. It's called Really Black. The pictures of this one remind me a lot of the Ichiban 2, which I grew a couple of years ago. I grew the Ichiban 2 in straw bales, and here's a look at the harvest that I had. They were very productive. The 3rd variety of eggplant that I'll be growing is called Long Purple, and I've grown that one quite a few times, and it's always produced well for us. Here's a look at some of those that I've grown. We like to coat those in some mayo, roll them in Italian breadcrumbs, and bake them. Some of the peppers that we're growing for outdoors are already starting to get some flower buds. Here's a look at some of those small variegated peppers with the green and white foliage. This version has peppers that have quite a bit of purple on them, especially on the side that's facing the light. This version is a sibling of the one you just looked at, and it has more peppers that are a little bit longer with no purple, and then another one has longer peppers with a little bit of purple. And then another variety after that is more like a fish pepper with the green peppers with yellow stripes. So I already have several variations in this one little project. These are F5 Oda crossed with an unknown hot pepper. I'm hoping not to lose any more heat from this project in this generation, because if we lose all the heat, it'd make the project kind of pointless. This is the F3 generation of the ones that I've been calling Black Cherry. I have 2 versions, one with dark leaves and the other with dark leaves and variegation. Here's a look at the Black Pearl F5s, and those are just now starting to grow well. They look pretty much like they did in the last generation, which is a good thing, but I planted a few more just in case. Here's the first F2 autocrosses that came up, and they're very dark so far. Both the first one and the second one. For those of you who haven't been following along, here's what the F1s look like. I'll give another update soon, but that's a short look at what we have going on inside. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.